For this afternoon's review, we're going to take a look at Action Force Valaverse Duster, or the figure of Team Kennedy. This is an Amazon.com purchase, so if you are interested in getting your figures fast, you could get Action Force Valaverse figures straight through Amazon. So for $34, with 2-day shipping, what do we get? We have the Team Kennedy figure with the vest, the battle belt, and the individual first aid kit. As to details of the kit that he has on, we're going to show that later. So let's move on the top left and right side of the figure. So we have your standard issued Valaverse helmet with attachments already on it, which are the ballistic ear covers. But if you wish to take out the ballistic ear covers and replace them with hearing protection, you have those set over here. That is also built in with a communication device and the microphone. So on this side, we have the night vision goggles. And on this side, we're going to have several handsets for this action figure. So the handsets that are included would be a pair of pistol gripping hands or the trigger hands, and we have knife wielding hands, and we have fists and support hands or C-shaped hands. So moving on this side, we have the alternate head sculpt of Team Kennedy. We also have an extra pair of ear protection device if you don't wish to use the helmet, which is included. So for the main battle rifle, we have an FN Scar with an underbellied attachment of an M203 grenade launcher. And the last accessory that we have on board is going to be the Great Action Force Valaverse figure stand. I have seen Team Kennedy in person, really great guy, and of the two headsets which are included in this Action Force set, which am I going to use? So I think I'm going to go with this one that is already attached to the figure. So the individual first aid kit that is included with this action figure set actually is a thigh-mounted individual first aid kit that looks this way. So if you wish to mount the individual first aid kit and attach it to the back of the vest, it is easily just done. So it's either you could just use your fingers and take it off or pry it off, or apply a little bit of heat using a hair dryer just to loosen up the glue material and peel it off and attach it to the back of the figure or the vest this way. So let's do a quick 360 of the figure now that it sports a more streamlined design. So the gear set that I have on my G.I. Joe Classified Series Sergeant Stalker is the Delta Gear set, which is actually the same set that is on the Team Kennedy figure. So what are the difference? It's just going to be the color, and of course some minute details like the inclusion of the Action Force Valaverse logo, which on the Delta Force gear set is not included. And of course, the most visible thing that you could notice immediately is going to be the color of the knife that is attached to the belt, and of course the different shade of the magazine caddies and the holster, which are on this figure it's all green, but for the Delta Gear set it's going to be a bit of grayish black. Okay, so when you take the knives off too, you would also notice that on the Delta Gear set we don't have the Special Forces badge or shield, but when you take the knife off the Team Kennedy figure, that is on the figure or on the shield that is on the vest of this figure. So let's rotate so we could take a look at the differences on the back side. So of course this is going to be my personal thing, and that is your standard issued thigh-mounted individual first aid kit, which actually this figure has to, but I just mounted mine on the back this way. So those are just the subtle differences between the one that you purchase separately, the Delta gear set, and the one that is included with the figure. So for those of you who are new to the channel or possibly new to the Action Force Valaverse action figure line, and this is your introduction video to the action figure line, then let me explain the accessories that are on the vest. So immediately we have the knife, which I demonstrated already earlier that you could pull it off from the sheath. So we have two rifle magazine caddies, and the magazines which are included, or you could see, actually are also removable. So moving to the back of the figure, we have the communication device. So we have a multi-band radio, and we have the wire that is actually moving towards the front of the body, which we have the push to talk device. So of course I added this thing that is a personal thing, which in real life this is the location where I also put my individual first aid kit. So let's move on towards the belt. So for the belt, this is how the pistol holster would look. So just like your outside the waistband Kydex holster, so this is how it looks, and you could easily pull out the pistol if you wish. So it's not that really tight on that it holds on and warps the pistol. Actually, the pistol is, and the accessories, the rifle that comes with it, is made out of rigid material, so it does not bend or warp easily. So let's move on to the side of the battle belt or pistol belt, or whatever you want to call it. So moving towards the left side, this is how the pistol magazine caddies would look. So just like your the ones that you buy aftermarket and use on your pistol belt or battle belt, so the details are really spot on. So we have two magazines, and on this side we still have molded attachments. So those are things that you can't take off from the battle belt. So for the battle belt, it's just going to be the pistol, which is going to be detachable from the battle belt. But for the rest of the accessories located on this side, it's just molded plastic. So we have, that is a multi-tool, and I know that that is the profile of a Leatherman. So really great multi-tool. That is also the one that I use and include in my kit. And on this side, that is a molded in flashlight, and we have a secondary knife. This is how the figure looks with your standard issued Valaverse Action Force helmet with night vision goggles on and the ballistic ear protection. This is how the action figure looks with the night vision goggles down and a different helmet attachment, which is the hearing protectors. If you wish to have a more relaxed look for your Team Kennedy action figure, so just put the goggles up and flip the hearing protectors to the side or the back side of the helmet. The only head sculpt accessory that does not complement the figure well is going to be this piece, which, as you could see, does not really rest well on top of the head of the figure, nor does it really close well or mold well to the side of the ears. So let's take a look at the rifle and the pistol that is included with this action figure set. So let's start with the FN Scar. So if you're familiar with the details and the controls of an FN Scar, it is on this little thing. So we have your front and rear iron sights, which are down, and we have a hologram sight on board, an EOTech. So this is the other side of the FN Scar, and the magazine is detachable from this rifle. And on the end, the barrel and the end of the M203 grenade launchers, as you could see, we have holes wherein you could attach Action Force Valaverse muzzle or flash devices, which I'm going to demonstrate later. So let's take a look at the pistol that is included in this set. So we have a red dot sight, we have slide cuts to make the slide lighter, and we have a Picatinny rail. So really nice looking side arm. So possibly I'm still bugged by what design this pistol is based on, possibly Smith & Wesson MNP 2.0, the Pro model. So that is just the details between these weapon systems which are included. The muzzle flash devices that you see on the pistol and on the FN SCAR rifle is actually from a Action Force Valaverse weapons set. So every Action Force Valaverse weapon set that you purchase, those muzzle devices would be included. So just a demonstration of how the muzzle devices would look on the ones on the rifle and the pistol that is included with the Team Kennedy action figure. So let's take a look at the pistol. So the only accessory that does not make sense, though it is nicely included with this set, actually is going to be the rifle, because if you're going to examine the vest and the belt, we don't have any M203 grenade rounds. So what I did was to take off the FN SCAR and replace it with an M4 or an AR-15 rifle. So you have a good looking action figure and you want to pose this in really nice action poses, and of course a stand is needed. So this is the Action Force Valaverse stand. So it is 3.5 inches in length and 2.5 inches from the top to the bottom. And the really cool thing about this action figure stand is going to be the presence of 4 pegs. So if you wish to put your action figure in really nice action poses, then this action figure could really hold on to that pose well, and you won't worry about the figure falling forwards or backwards. So last point of detail that we're going to discuss about this really fine action figure set is going to be the articulation points. If you are familiar with your standard G.I. Joe Classified Series action figure, then the articulation points are similar. So as you could see, you could pose your figure in really nice action poses and retain the figure in that pose using the action figure stand. And the nice thing about this action figure, all Valaverse Action Force action figures would sport pinless joints. So as you could take note, on the elbow, those are pinless, and on the knees, those are pinless too. So this ends my review of Action Force Valaverse Duster or Team Kennedy figure. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure review.